In this video, I'm going to take you through the custom controls for wildlife shooting. So we've basically got it in our preset C2 shutter speed priority mode that we've previously set up in another video. So all the settings are saved, you're ready to go. And I'm going to scroll through and I'm going to go to the orange section and it says customize buttons. So we're going to press on that. Now this is to set up the back button focusing system. So metering and AF start. So basically you want to take off the metering and the AF on the camera. So you just want it to go to metering. This basically switches between movie and photo mode. So here is the mode button, keep it as it is. AF on, metering and AF start. So that is probably okay, AF. So this button here is set to eye detection AF. So you can have all these other options here. Normally it's set to AE lock, FE lock, metering AF start. So we're going to scroll through and set to eye detection AF. AF point button, AF point selection is okay. The front button is one shot and servo. So basically that switches between one shot mode and the servo mode, which is the autofocus mode. So just in case you have a subject that just requires one shot or you're having problems focusing, you can switch quickly between one shot and servo mode. So I'm going to punch that in. Lens AF off. So the MFN button is set to switch between still and movie switching. So you can quickly switch, just one button, switch between photo mode and movie recording mode. And we have the LCD light that can stay as it is. I don't need to change that. The set button. So this is the multi-controller direct AF point selection. So sometimes this is disabled for some bizarre reason. So you need to go into here and enable direct AF point selection. That's on the actual joystick that you have. I do not know why that is disabled out of the box. So you need to go in and actually enable that button for that to work. So otherwise the joystick just doesn't work on the screen at all. The only way you can move things around on the screen is to have the sort of touch element enabled, which I find to be a bad option to have enabled because you could hit something accidentally. It's better to have a physical button controlling the options on the screen, just in my opinion. Okay, so once that's set, we go back to menu and everything should be ready to go. If you really have any doubts, you can go into shooting mode and you can register the settings and just override the C2 mode just to be sure. But you have the auto update set to enabled, so any changes that you make to the setup of the camera is reflected into that C2 recording mode. It's operationally ready when you turn the camera on and off. So we can turn the camera off and then we're just going to turn it back on again. Okay, everything should be there ready to go. So you can go in, you can switch. So front button is AO servo, tracking mode is on. So let's go into the menu and let's see if that's been reflected. Customize buttons, and yeah, it's all there ready. Mode, AF, metering and AF start. Yeah, and we have eye detection autofocus. There is eye detection as well, so you can flip between eye detection autofocus or just eye detection. It depends on what is best for your setup. But at least have one of those back buttons set up as being AF on button, metering and AF start, and then have another one as eye detection AF. And that is basically how I would set the camera up. So we've already covered in the previous video how to set up the camera for wildlife, or how to optimize the camera setup as a custom shooting mode for wildlife. And this video basically covers the custom function. Maybe just one other thing is the control ring. If you're shooting with an RF lens, you will see that it has a control ring. Now that control ring can be customized for various things. I've set it to exposure compensation purely because it's something that I'm probably not going to use very often, and I don't want a major function to be on there, but you can change it to, you set it to a number of different things. So you can set it so it can be change shutter speed, aperture, ISO. You can set it to be white balance if you wanted it to. I've set it to, for now, exposure, compensation, hold meter button. I got to be honest, something that I'm not going to use very often is the actual control ring on the lens, purely because one of the reasons is because the control ring is in different positions on each lens. I go to use the control ring on one lens, and I realize I'm using the focus ring or I'm using the zoom accidentally because I'm expecting the control ring to be in a certain place. So the control ring is completely different on different lenses, which completely throws me out on various occasions, which is the reason why I just don't use the control ring at all. You end up accidentally zooming in and out or changing the focus or something that you didn't want to do because it's like a memory muscle type of thing. It's like the control ring is in different positions. So for me, it's not something I'm going to use, but it's there if you need it. It's quite a nice additional function. So there we are. I hope you really enjoyed that video. Hopefully that's beneficial. So setting up your R5 or R6 camera. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up, give it a like, give it a share, subscribe to my channel. It really helps the progress of the channel, helps me out as well. And obviously it means I'll be making more videos like this or similar videos. So thanks for watching.